Hello everyone, welcome in. It is Saturday night crafting. Tonight we are unpacking and crafting the Lovely Lavender Paper Pumpkin Kit. It is the January subscription kit. Today is Saturday, February 10. It was the final day to subscribe for the next Paper Pumpkin Kit. But no worries, I'm going to be sharing with you the advantages of purchasing a prepaid subscription of the monthly surprise that's delivered straight to your snail mailbox. I'm going to verify that I'm on the right spot, So give me just a second to click over, make sure I'm at the Just Stamp with Anna Marie site. If you're joining me live, do me a favor and post a comment, say hello, tell me where you're from. And if you're hopping on late as well, or if you're watching the replay, let me know you're here. This will be posted to the YouTube site as well, over at Just Stamp with Anna Marie over on the YouTube channel. So again, let me know you're here if you're watching. Welcome in. I love that you're joining me for Saturday night crafting and a little bit of chat. I have some things to share with you. So let me double check. Just give me a second here. I am confirming I'm in the right spot. All right, thank you. There I am. Okay, so everything is good. So we are going to be creating a paper pumpkin kit. If you have never heard of Paper Pumpkin, it is Stampin' Up's subscription kit. Everything comes to you delivered straight to your mailbox in a box. All the things you need to create pretty projects, instructions, all the materials that you need. You need nothing else to create. Everything is in the box for you. You can subscribe month to month, and it's only $24.50 a month, or you can get some perks by purchasing a prepaid subscription, either for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. All of them are great deals. The best deal, of course, is to jump in with an annual subscription because you get some perks. And I am going to be sharing with you what those perks are and putting together a Paper Pumpkin bundle to take advantage of some of the celebration offerings. So I'm going to be pointing the camera down so I can share with you the layout and the math behind the Paper Pumpkin subscription bundle. And I'm also going to be talking to you about my upcoming February greetings card kit in the mail. So it's easiest to show you rather than just to talk about it. So let me turn the camera. Again, welcome in. I would love for you to post a comment. Let me know that you're here, whether you're catching the live or the replay. All right, let me move the camera down. Give me just a second. I have a sneaky feeling I changed the orientation. All right, let's see. I think I did. Let's see if I can flip that over. And let me try that again. I don't like the long version. And if you, let's see. No, it is flipping over. All right, I may have to go in the long way. However, this may not be good. Hang on, let me double check. And I'm having a little bit of lag time over on my site. Yeah. And let's see, right now I am looking at the sky, looking at the ceiling. Let me flip that around again. Oh my goodness, such a struggle. I think I'm going to be okay though, which is good news. I like the landscape orientation, and let's give this a try. All right, so I think everything is right side up. It's a little bit askew. Let me take a couple minutes to straighten things out. And I know I have a little bit of glare up on the glass mat. I do love crafting on the glass mat though. You may have heard me talk about this glass mat. It is a gift during celebration for joining or purchasing the starter kit. So let's see if I can share with you. Usually it's host and earn. Here we go. So it's join. This is the glass mat that we're looking at, that we're going to be working on. And there is a little bit of the glare on the mat when I'm using it. So if you purchase a subscription kit during celebration, which will end at the end of February, you have two options. You can take the glass mat bundle that has the mat, a silicone mat, and a cleaning cloth. It's an awesome bundle. Or if you're not interested in the glass mat, you can opt to take $30 extra in Stampin' Up! Products. So that would give you a total of $155 for just $99. It's a great deal. All right, so thank you for joining me on Saturday night, February 10th. We are going to be jumping into a paper pumpkin kit. This is actually the January kit. It's a beautiful kit though. Before I jump into the Lovely Lavender paper pumpkin kit, let me share with you what else I've got going on right now. I just opened up the greetings perennial cards for spring class. We will be making 4 cards, and they are all specialty cards, and a pretty gift box. And you can take this class to go in the mail, or I have an in-person option on Sunday, February 25th. The price is $30, and that includes a half pack of the Perennial Lavender DSP, a share of the paper butterfly accents, a full package of the purple fine shimmer gems, and you will get the full package, and of course the pre-cut kit, the PDF tutorial, all that for the February kit, which is $30. If you need it shipped, it's an additional $9, so total $39. I will post the link right above this video when I'm finished. Everything, of course, comes to you pre-cut, pre-scored. These are all specialty cards, so they are simple to make, but they are not just your basic single-folded card. They're all specialty folds. Really pretty with that purple and Highland Heather. Some of them are fun folds. We've got an envelope. They're all just gorgeous cards for all occasions. So in order to create the cards as I designed, you will need the Perennial Lavender bundle and the celebration stamp set called Heartfelt Hellos. So if you do not have the bundle yet, you can purchase the bundle as well and get the stamp set for free. If you don't want the Perennial Lavender bundle, don't need the Heartfelt Hellos, you can create the cards with a substitute set that you might have on hand. All right, next let's talk about Paper Pumpkin. It is the monthly subscription kit, and you have lots of options. You can subscribe month to month, which is just $24.50 to have it directly delivered to your door. Inside the box, you get everything you need to create projects. Sometimes they are full-size cards, sometimes they are 3D projects, sometimes there's a mix, but it is a surprise every month. We do get some clues as to what's going to be in the kit beforehand, so you always have the option of passing on a kit or even upping your subscription for 2 months. If you would like to jump in with some perks, you can purchase a 3-month subscription for only $69.50. The awesome thing during celebration is that gives you a level 1 gift, because during celebration, with every $50 that you spend, you get to choose a gift from that celebration catalog that I just showed you. In addition to the nice gifts which are in this brochure, there are added gifts that are available, and they are found in the main catalog. So if you go over to the Stampin' Up! Site, you will be able to see all of the gifts that are available. Your next investment might be a 6-month subscription for $127. That will get you 2 level 1 celebration gifts or 1 level 2 celebration gift. Now, the best deal during celebration is the 12-month subscription. You will be saving 20% when you subscribe for a full month. And that is $243 again. If you choose just to stick with the 12-month subscription, you can opt in for 4 level 1 gifts or 2 level 2, or mix it up, get 1 level 2 and 2 level 1s. You have lots of options, but I'm going to suggest you go a little bit further and add to that 12-month subscription. Remember, you're going to be saving 20% when you go in for the year. And let me just add again that 1-year subscription does not commit you to every single month. You can manage your account and skip a month when you like. And so you might actually go for an extended period of time. Now, if you add to it, and I would suggest adding the basic white, memories and more, cards and envelopes. It is a card pack like this that includes large cards that have been already cut, scored, the envelopes that go to those cards, and a smaller size card as well. And this includes 30 cards and envelopes for just $10.50. The reason I am recommending the basic white memory and more cards and envelopes is because with the Paper Pumpkin subscription, you always get an exclusive stamp set. So you can continue making projects long after all the supplies in the kit are exhausted. So if you add the memory and more cards, that bumps you up another level. You can now get 5 level 1 celebration gifts or mix them up however you like. It also qualifies you for $25.50 in host rewards, because in essence, you are having your own workshop, your own party. Now, that is a lot of rewards. And if you want to just be crafting with your Paper Pumpkin subscription, here's what I would suggest you get with those $25. It is always convenient to have the paper snips. You don't need them in your kit, but if you have them, they are awesome. The Stampin' Up! Snips are the best. I love the short tip blades. They can get into those little grooves and help you easily cut and fussy cut. They're only $11, so that's only $11 of your $25.50 in rewards. I would also recommend a bone folder. And you will often see me using, in fact, every project I make, I use my bone folder to get those beautiful creases that just make your project look amazing. And then the last thing I would get with my $25.50 in host rewards is a chamois. So this simple chamois helps you keep your stamps clean. You just dampen the chamois, wipe your stamps on it, and you are all set to put that stamp set away and be ready for the next time you're stamping. So I'm thinking the Paper Pumpkin bundle during celebration is the way to go if you want simple, pretty cards, easily created. And there's the list I'm recommending. If you're ready to jump in, you can go over to bit.ly/juststamp-paper-pumpkin, and you can set up either a month-to-month subscription, or you can go online and subscribe. You will need these these item codes depending on what subscription period you want. So you have 2 options: month-to-month, jump in at Just Stamp Paper Pumpkin, or if you want to buy a prepaid subscription, you will go into the online store and shop with these item numbers. Don't forget, you get to pick out your freebies. Even if you pick just a 3-month subscription, you still earn celebration gifts. Even more, you earn host rewards when you go with that 12-month subscription. All right, my friends, that is the best Paper Pumpkin deal during celebration. Let's dive in and let's create. So I am creating for the first time with this kit. This is the Paper Pumpkin kit. It is called Lovely Lavender. And I'm opening up, literally, I have not used this yet. Every kit, as I said, has an exclusive stamp set. This one has the prettiest set. It's got a nice big scripty love. It's got a little branch of leaves. This is a perfect kit for creating Valentines. There is, let's see if I can find a better background. Let's see if this will work. Okay, so one of the stamps says Happy Valentine's Day, and that's the reason I'm crafting today. There's another that says just a little something for you. There's one tiny word with, and then that branch of pretty foliage. So there's your stamp set, your ink spot, which you will also receive one per month in your paper pumpkin kit. This month's ink spot was, or is, Gorgeous Grape. I'm going to put that aside, put my stamp set aside, and let's open up. I have unwrapped from the pretty tissue paper. Here is my kit. This is how every month comes. So you can see it's all wrapped up. You see there are instructions right on the front, and you have a choice. You can either go for the instructions, or you can just put those in the rubbish and craft as you please. So I will open up. There's the paper snips I'm recommending. I'm going to open this up and share with you what's inside of the kit. All right, so this month includes a small bolt of linen thread, a package of Stampin' Dimensionals. Those are the little lifts, the foam lifts to create your cards. We have beautiful envelopes every month. So these are nicely lined with the lavender color, this little print pattern, and then a crumb cake dotted pattern. So pretty lined envelopes. And we're going to have two designs here. I'm going to be separating as I go. So I've got my accents, embellishments, and two kinds of kits. So let's see, one of the kits, and I'm going to assume that these card bases go with this envelope. We also have our card fronts, and in this kit, I believe we're making 8 cards. We're making 4 of each card. We have some inserts. Let's go with our second pattern, that crumb cake dotted pattern. We've got some stamping die cuts. We have some Lovely Lavender Gorgeous Grape layers. We have white labels. Our other adhesive are the mini glue dots. We have some pretty foliage die cuts in 2 different greens. It looks like Lost Lagoon and Garden Green. We are going to have to pop those out. We have more die cuts. We have some pretty lavender stems and some scripty love die cuts. We have 2 of those sheets. And last but not least, or 2 things actually, we have our instructions, which we can just toss or follow. And we have a chipboard. Now the chipboard is important because you can actually use this to stamp on. If you want to test out your stamp, you can stamp directly on here. And it also works as your paper piercing mat. And I'll show you. Mostly I use my foam mat. This is a Stampin' Up! Product. It's about $5, and it helps get a crisp image with photopolymer stamps, which the paper pumpkin stamps are. If you don't have the piercing mat, then you use the chipboard. So that's why you hold on to that. All right, let's grab our instructions. I'm going to open up, and this shares the pieces that you need for card number 1. And it's got the step-by-step instructions of which die cuts you need, what stamps you need, which adhesive you need, how much ribbon you need. Open it up. There's our project number 2, project number 3. And what's really cool about the design of these instructions is you also have your measuring tool right up along one edge. So your ruler from 0 to 18. All right, so on the back side, you have all of your materials at a glance. And you also have some alternatives to the paper pumpkin designs. You can do more with this month's kit. And there is a QR code that you can click on to check out the other projects. And it's all there. Easy crafting. So let's get started. Project 1. All right. For project 1, by the way, I am going to be using, instead of my ink spot, I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to bring in my full Gorgeous Grape ink pad. And I like to do that because I already own all the colors. I don't need to open the spot, but it's there if I need it. And sometimes I do use those as extras. All right, so let's go with this design. This is project number 1. And already I'm making a little mess at my workspace because I've tried to lay out all of the supplies. So I'm going to be taking out the die cut. Look, now I've got 2 pieces. This I'm going to need for my card. This I'm going to need for project number 1. So I'm going to set that aside. I also need one of the labels from the basic white sheet. There's a small label. I need also one of the die cuts from the foliage sheet, and I am going to take the Lost Lagoon branch. Let's just pop that out. And I'm going to need some twine. So let's see where I've pushed the twine off to. Grab that, and this tells me in the instructions I need 12 inches. Now probably the hardest part of this project will be finding the end to, to the linen thread. Do you ever struggle with that? I do. Every single time I grab a new bolt of twine. Someplace there is the beginning of this twine. It's not easy to find. I'm still trying to grab it. Oh my gosh. I think, there we go. All right, so again, 12 inches. So let's get our ruler out. I'm going to go from one end to 12. So right there, and I'm going to snip that. There we go. Put my ruler down. Okay, back to the instructions. I am going to go for the stamp that says, just a little something for you. So this is a sweet tag. You can hang it on a bag or you can just present it with a small gift. Now let's talk about how we mount this stamp. Your first kit, when you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, will include an acrylic block. Now, this is not my first kit, but I like to grab my acrylic blocks. These are the Stampin' Up! Blocks, and they are just ergonomically designed. I love the weight, how it feels in my hand. It just makes stamping really easy. Now I'm ready to stamp, and this instruction sheet tells me I need to stamp that small tag with my sentiment. And remember, I'm using my Gorgeous Grape ink, but I'm going to do one small thing before I actually stamp. Sometimes the photopolymer stamps need a little bit of help when you first get started. You might not get a nice crisp image. So what I like to do, I take my eraser. This is just a nice white eraser, and I'm going to just rub it onto the photopolymer stamp. I have seen others use a little sand block, like an emery board. I have heard other people like to wash theirs with a little bit of dish detergent. I like to be really gentle with it. Just use my eraser. I'm going to bring in my ink pad, and let's see if I can push up just a little bit so you can see everything that's going on here. And I love to give it a try on the chipboard before I stamp my nice paper. So that looks like a great impression. I am ready to stamp my small label. I can see straight through this little stamp It's photopolymer. That's the beauty of photopolymer. You can see right through. Stamping down. And there we go. Just a little something for you. So we have stamped. Let's assemble. And this, again, this tells me exactly what I need to do. The next thing I need to do, I cut my thread. I need to apply some dimensionals to the back of this label. And I also need to attach some mini glue dots to the back of my little greenery. So let's take my mini glue dots. And by the way, if you don't like the mini glue dots, I would recommend you get a small bottle of liquid glue, or you could use the mini glue dots that are on a roll that Stampin' Up! Produces. Just anything that will help you craft a little bit easier. I know a lot of people do not like these glue dots. I am not one of them. I love them. And to remove the backing on the glue dot, I use this special tool called a Take Your Pick tool. It has that little piercing tip. It has a spatula tip. At the opposite end on mine, I have attached the gum tip or the putty tip so I can lift things. And there are actually other attachments that either come with the tool or that you can add on. It is the handiest tool. I think the basic tool, I want to say it's about $12. The add-ons are a little bit more, I think. But I use this every time I craft as well. All right, so now I'm going to attach this, and I want to make sure I'm at the right end, because on this die cut there is a small punched hole. All I have to do is pop my tool through there. So this is the top of the label. I'm going to come in, attach that there. And remember, I needed to add a couple of dimensionals. These are the full size, standard size dimensionals. And all I'm going to do is remove the backing and add that to my tag. And last, and if you don't like the curly linen thread, what I like to do is just take my fingernail and slide it right along the thread. It kind of straightens it out. I'm going to fold that in half, and I'm going to bring, I think I go from front to back, and I'm just going to loop this through. So I'm going to loop the tails through, and there we go. I'm going to go ahead and call that a project. So how pretty is that? It's a beautiful, gorgeous grape Highland Heather tag, just a little something for you. Really sweet to add on to your gift bag or gift box. Okay, one project down, and you will make 4 of those tags in this kit. The next project I'm going to do, so let me share with you the card. So we just completed that project. We're going to go on to the second one, which has a crumb cake card base. It is kind of spotted, really sweet paper. And let's grab what we need for this project. Right here, I'm going to put that down right there. And we need 1 crumb cake card base. We need the garden green large greenery. So nice big die cut. It's already ready to release from this sheet of die cuts. Just be gentle as you withdraw that. So we've got our greenery leaf, and then we're going to need some stems of the lavender. So there are 2 different sizes. Looks like there's 3 different sizes. So it looks like we need the largest one, the longest one, the tallest one. Actually, they are all together. Those designers at Stampin' Up! Are so clever. Look at how they've attached that. I've got my 3 stems right there, and I've got my greenery right there. All right, let's keep going. We will need also a label. It's one of the basic white labels, just a rectangular label. right there. And we will need, again, 12 inches of linen thread. And let's see. So far I haven't lost anything, right? I think I'm doing pretty good. Okay, I need 12 inches here. I'm going to use my measuring tool on my instructions, and I'm going to trim that down. Put that aside. And I'm going to go ahead and run my fingernail down that linen thread. All right. Okay, so we will begin with step 1, which is to apply our mini glue dots. And we need to put them on the front of these joints. Okay, so right there, and they want us to put one at each end of that joint. This has to be one of the prettiest paper pumpkins I've received. Maybe because I love the coloring. I love this perennial lavender bundle in the current mini catalog, and the designs are just breathtaking. They are so pretty. All right, so we've got mini glue dots there. We need to, step 2, we are going to be attaching this together. So let's remove, and you can use your fingernail or you can use your take your pick, whichever works better for you or is easier if you happen to have one. Okay, we're going to attach this right atop the greenery there. I am going to bring in my card base, and it's already pre-scored. Isn't that the sweetest pattern? Crumb cake with white dots. I'm going to use my bone folder. So you're seeing the tools that I recommended as your hostess gifts are exactly what I use to put my cards and projects together. Then I also need that card front that I removed the tag from, and make sure the orientation's right. This is the bottom of the front, and we are going to adhere this right behind. That's why we have those mini glue dots there. So we're just going to remove the backing or the front and put that right up against the window that's created with this die cut. So let's pop this through and see if we can't. There we go. That needs to be popped through. This comes right at the back. Voila. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to flip that over, and now we're going to bring in our dimensionals, and look where we have our guidance. These are the hexagon shapes. Those are for dimensionals. When you see just the little round dots, those are the mini glue dots. So clever of Stampin' Up! To think of everything for us, because some of us need a little bit of help. We're often unsure where we need to apply adhesive. We're looking for a little bit of guidance on the layout. So Paper Pumpkin makes it really easy for us. And this is the most beautiful kit. Speaking of that, I do have one more kit available. It is a full kit, unopened. It's the exact kit that we are crafting right now. And if you would like the kit, it is $25. You just need to either message me, text me, however you want to reach out. Let me know you would like it. If you need me to ship the kit, it is an additional $5 to ship. All right, so what I'm doing is applying the dimensionals, and we want to also support a little bit of the stems. So you can see I put them along the perimeter, and then we're going to add some to the die cuts, and we want to be strategic where we have white. We don't want to place any in the open areas there. That way there'll be lots of support for the die cuts. Now this gets turned over and placed onto the card base. So remove all the backing. So raise your hand if you're watching. If you have received a paper pumpkin, if you've crafted a paper pumpkin. If you're a subscriber, you will see lots of alternative examples, cards that you can create with these supplies, either the same supplies or by adding your own cardstock or pattern paper. With that exclusive stamp set, you have lots of options. Again, you can keep crafting long after your supplies are depleted. And this goes right up to the card front. They're just like so. All right, we need to stamp our sentiment. So let me bring in my chipboard again. And this one is going to say Happy Valentine's Day. And let me grab my stamp. Oh, I was celebrating too soon. Where is my stamp set? If you've watched me in the past, you know I have lots of difficulty keeping track of my things on my small worktop. Just crazy because I am not seeing my stamp set. This is crazy. Okay, help me out if you see it on the worktop. Tell me where I found it. Call off the 911. Okay, I found it. This one, again, it's the Happy Valentine's Day, and I am going to bring in one of my other acrylic blocks. This is block H. As you can see, it's a very slim, wide block. The block that you will get in your own paper pumpkin kit is size D, and this is pretty much the generic size or the general size that you need for most stamps. I do like to use a block that's closer to the size of the stamp, only because sometimes you get ink in areas that you don't want to have inked up. Now, here's something else that my glass mat is useful for. This is gridded. So I'm going to place my stamp right on my glass mat on the grid line so I can adhere this to my block nice and evenly. Then I'm going to just look over top and align my block. And success. It's pretty level for stamping so I don't ruin a label. I'm not stamping wonky. And I'm going to bring in my eraser again and just clean that off. Give it a little bit of, I don't know, it's not so sticky. It's going to accept the ink a little bit easier. All right, bringing in my ink pad, and if you notice, I don't smush my stamp into the ink pad. I tap, tap, tap. I am going to test it before I use it on my label. So it's nice, crisp inking. I'm going to do the same, tap, tap, tap. And come on over, look over top, straight through, and stamp down right in the middle. Pressing down firmly. There we go. And I'm going to bring in my, let's move my chipboard over. I'm going to bring in my linen thread and make 2 large loops. And next, my instructions tell me that I need to add dimensionals to the back of my label. So 1 at each end. And then I need to put a mini glue dot right in the center. That's how I'm going to attach my linen thread. And this just goes at an angle. Put that down. Then this is going to be attached to the card front. There we go. And right around, let's see, bringing it over pretty far. Right there. Happy Valentine's Day. So pretty, right? I think it's a gorgeous card. I love the colors. Look at how pretty the background is. Kind of water brushed effect. And so we have 2 of our 3 projects created, a Happy Valentine's Day card and a tag. We have 1 more card left. So let's jump on that. And that will be the Lovely Lavender card base here, and it coordinates with the pretty gorgeous grape Highland Heather envelope right there. And by the way, the other card had the crumb cake envelope. So look how nicely that coordinates. We've got the pattern there and the pattern there. So pretty. All right, and let's put our envelope aside. There's our card base. This, I believe, is landscape orientation. Yep. There's our card base that we need. We also need, let's see, one of the square die cuts has a pretty foil border on it. So pop that out. We need that. And let's see, we need also a couple of the single stems of lavender. So 1 and 2. We are going to need the Love beautiful script with the shadow outline, or with an outline there. And we're going to need one of those tiny white labels there. And let's see what else. I think we are good. So let's start off. Oh, we are going to need also 12 inches again of the linen thread. So let's grab that there to there. Typically your supplies are more than you need. So if you're not measuring precisely, you're going to be safe. So I'm going to run my fingernail right through there, and I'm going to go ahead and, oh, this one's not tight. Actually, I'm going to tie it. The instructions don't show to tie it, but for me, it's just easier when I'm sticking that down to have the bow. I'm going to set that right there. All right, so let's see. We will need to stamp a couple of things. One, we need to stamp our large bordered square, and we need to stamp that little tiny width, one little word. Let me grab my stamp set, and I will start with the branch. And let's see if I have my block D at the ready. Right there. This one, the alignment doesn't matter. I am going to get my eraser and kind of rub that eraser along the surface. That preps the photopolymer stamp to receive the ink. All right, I'm going to ink up and test it before I stamp my pretty die cut. Nice. All right. And I'm going to look at my instructions to see exactly how to stamp. So it's almost not quite perpendicular, slightly to the right, and not quite at the base. Right there. Nice. And then I need that tiny width. And for that, I will bring in block A for that tiny little word right on there. See how nicely that fits? And it would be overwhelming on my block D. So that's why I like to use an appropriate size block for my stamps. I'm going to bring in my eraser. And so now almost all my stamps are treated with that eraser treatment. I'm going to go ahead and practice. And I'm happy with that. So let's give this a little ink right there. Okay, there we go. And I think we're all stamped. We just need to assemble. So let me put that ink pad out of the way. I'm going to close that up, put it out of the way, and I've got my card base, everything at the ready. And it looks like the first thing I need to do is add some dimensionals to the back of my square die cut, right in the corners. And I will show you how I need to do that. So there's my guide, and it looks like they're suggesting I place one right in the center as well. So there we go. Then we add that to the card front. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove the backing. And this gets placed almost exactly the center. And let me grab my bone folder and burnish that down. They behave a little bit better when they have that crease in them. All right, flip that over, and I'm going to place it right in the center. Look how pretty those flowers are in the background. I love the colors. So they've added like rich raspberry, like crushed curry. You've got Lost Lagoon, lots of beautiful colors in this. My next step is going to be to add some glue dots to the back of my die cuts. And let's see where my glue dots escape to. They're right here. And I'm going to grab my take your pick. Let's see if I can add these easily. So, and again, I know I need mini glue dots. I've got to see the solid circles on the back of these die cuts here. And it looks like I'm going to be putting the label on with dimensionals. So that's how I know I'm doing the right thing. I know some stampers just need a little confidence to make sure they're going at it correctly each step of the way. And trust me, if you alter just slightly, it's not going to be critical. You're still going to have a beautiful card. Oh, did I forget to grab one of my branches? I think I did. I need one of these small garden green leaf branches. And typically what I like to do is when I unpack my kit is remove all these die cuts, and so I can organize each project. For example, if I'm doing four of each design, I'll have my 4 kits ready to go. So it's easy assembly. So I can say every month I get excited when my paper pumpkin kit arrives. I have subscribed since the program was introduced, and the kits, I will say, just get better and better. Initially, they were very simple kits. I wasn't getting as excited, but they have revamped and improved, and it's really exciting. It's a thrill to get the kit every month. I love the surprise in the mail. All right, so what I'm doing is just adding glue dots behind the love, and I like my die cuts to have lots of support, so I might put extra. Trust me, you will have plenty with the supply that you're given. All right, so let's bring in our card base, and the first one we're going to put down is the leaf branch, and I'm just going to remove the back of the glue dots. You can use your nails, or you can use the special take your pick tool. I will say I have lots of these take your picks with the multiple tips, or with the tips attached to different ones, so that I don't have to keep swapping them out. Very handy. All right, this one goes slightly to the left, and I'm just gonna, and it's gonna hang off the die cut, pressing down. I've got glue dots in there. Then I'm going to add my, and let's see which is easier, if I use my nail or if I use my tool. And I will say lots of people that have longer fingernails like having the take your pick tool at the ready, because it's sometimes hard with your fingernail. So either way, there we go. And this one goes a little bit higher, right in there. So next I'm going to take my longer label. One more piece I didn't grab. Let's see where that is. It is that rectangular layer of gorgeous grape. And what we're going to do is put dimensionals on that. So ends and center. And, oops. Well, I'm going to go ahead and add it here. And I'm just going to put it slightly to the side there. Then I'm going to add my love. So I actually need, and this is where I should have been checking out for the guidance on where to place the glue dots, because it wants it not too high. You need them to be attached to that gorgeous grape layer. So sometimes it is helpful to look at the instructions. All right, we are going to place this right down here. And then last, I need my little tiny label. And for this, I am going to put it on with a dimensional. And I need just the tiniest bit. So when you need a mini dimensional, here's what you do. You take one dimensional, and I like to just slice right up the border. I'm going to take a piece of one of those shapes and add it to the top of my label. This is going to be added right atop here, just like so. There we go. And I forgot one thing. I forgot to add my bow, but it is not too late. Let's see, how am I going to do this? I am going to insert this. Let's see if I can wiggle this off. Has this ever happened to you? It happens to me all the time. I get ahead of myself. That's okay. I think I can lift that gently and lift it again. Another great reason to have take your pick at the ready. And I am going to step on the linen thread with that dimensional, just like so. All right, so now I have my linen thread in there as well. It just adds a pretty whimsical look to it. There we go. All right, there are the 3 paper pumpkin projects and the Lovely Lavender kit. And of course, this one gets the pretty gorgeous grape envelope. Then we have the Happy Valentine's Day card with the crumb cake envelope right there. And we have that sweet tag, just a little something for you. There you go. There's your 3 projects in the Lovely Lavender kit. This is the January kit. The February kit, which was a springtime kit, and I say was because I believe at this late time it is too late to subscribe to the February kit, but you can always join in. Let me mention a couple more things. All right, so this was the Lovely Lavender. February was Sweet Springtime, and the closing date was 10 February. It's always on the 10th of the month. That kit is going to make 9 projects, 3 of each designs. The next kit that you can subscribe or purchase a prepaid code for is the Memorable Meadows. It will make 9 cards, 3 designs with coordinating envelopes. You are going to get some vellum pieces and wood embellishments, and kind of exciting, this one's going to coordinate with the Meandering Meadows Sweet Collection. And it's going to include a bonus stamp set, looks like. Is that right? Or includes a free stamp set. I'm assuming it's a bonus because every kit includes a stamp set. So we shall see. There's one more thing I want to mention. There is a add-on available of some sweet dies. It's a 4-piece die set. If you are a more casual crafter, if you own a die cutting machine, a mini machine or the standard die cutting machine, you have the option to purchase the coordinating dies for the 3 kits, the January, February, March. They will coordinate with all the kits. Subscribers can add these to their order. They are only $12 and they are sweet little die cuts. You're going to get a stitched label, looks like a daffodil flower die cut, a pretty leaf, and that gorgeous love like we used on this card. It's a die cut. So that is available for subscribers as well. All right, my friends, so have a think about purchasing the Paper Pumpkin Celebration Bundle and garnering all of those gifts and host rewards. And look at the suggested rewards I'm proposing. You will have your choice of up to 5 gifts if you purchase a 1-year subscription and bump it up to $250. Also, don't forget about my greetings perennial cards for spring class coming up. The deadline to sign up is the 15th, and I will post a link for that as well. Thanks so much for joining me on this Saturday night, and I'm here to remind you it's all great and well to enjoy crafting the cards. Don't forget to mail them. Have a great weekend.